Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here with another week of Saka Speaks On. And tonight, I am talking about a game that if hype was translated into a currency, you could be the richest person in the whole wide universe. And I bring up universe because, of course, I am talking about No Man's Sky, the new game coming out from Sean Murray and the people of Hello Games, known for Joe Danger, side-scrolling, almost Trials-like experience. And the hype on this game has been real the last, I think, 3 solid years when it was first unveiled. Sean showed off sort of a tech demo of what he was going for at E3. Sony picked up on it. Sony was very impressed. And all of a sudden, the development has just skyrocketed, with no doubt help from Sony. They're a small group, I think maybe 10 or 15 employees, and the game itself is massive. And we are talking about the largest video game area ever. And it will be tough to make anything bigger. Sean Murray has said there are over 18 quintillion stars to explore in gameplay. You start on the edge of a galaxy, you make your way towards the center. As he said, the game would sort of nudge you towards the center, where you would see fascinating things and things that aren't exactly familiar, to spur on that sort of exploratory fashion. 18 quintillion is a number that's hard to wrap your mind around. It's not a number that you run into a lot in everyday life. So I did some simple math, and my math could be wrong. I'm an English major, but 18 quintillion breaks down to if everyone on planet Earth, we're talking about 8 billion people, I rounded it off to, if all 8 billion people played No Man's Sky and visited a brand new star once a second, 1001, 1002, 1003, new star, new star, new star, it would take everyone in the world 73 solid years to see every star in the game. Now, of course, Sean Murray has based this game to be lifelike. So around every star, you might find 1 planet or 2 or 10. And he said 10% of those planets would have life on it. So imagine if 1 planet out of every 2 star systems had life on it, let's say. Let's make it a nice round number. It would still take everyone in the world 45 years or so, 35 years or so, to see every planet that has life on it if they visited that planet for only a second, and that is incredible. The biggest question is, though, what do you do? Is this like Space Engine? If you haven't heard of Space Engine, it's a program made by one guy, one developer, who has basically used procedural generation to generate not just our galaxy, but every galaxy in the universe. And you can literally go to any galaxy, go to any star, and see the planets that are orbiting these stars and land on those planets. Of course, there is no life. There are no objectives to do. It's like the ultimate sort of exploratory game where you have free reign and can go anywhere. But what do you do in No Man's Sky? And IGN has been showing over the past week or so sort of gameplay mechanics. Obviously, you're going to be mining materials for your ship, your suit, and your weapon, which also doubles not only as a weapon but also as a mining tool. So that's pretty important. Your ship has limited jump capability. You can't jump long distances quickly, so you have to upgrade your ship in that way. And then it almost turns into a mix between, if I had to pinpoint a mix, I would say between the last stage of Spore, if you've ever played Spore, and sort of the X series games where, okay, here's your ship, just go. And to a lot of players, that's sort of disconcerting. They're thinking, go where? I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get there. Well, good luck. But it's also in the realm of Spore where you get to these planets, and when you zoom in on these planets, or you start to land your vessel, you can't actually land, but you can sort of see the indigenous life there that is sort of procedurally generated and sort of put in the Sporepedia of players that have played the game and uploaded their creations, most of which were inappropriate. And you could run across these creatures, and it would sort of populate these planets randomly, and your goal was to get to the center of the galaxy to discover, what secret lies in the center of the galaxy. And the Groks inhabited everything around the center of the galaxy. It was really tough to get through. They were a race of creatures that hated you no matter what you did, and a lot of people tried to befriend the Groks as sort of an end game to see if they could do it, make an alliance with the Groks, even though they were supposed to hate you from the solid get-go. They were sort of a Borg-like creature, a hive mind that we all think is one, we all move as one, and we all equally hate you. Is that going to be like No Man's Sky? I don't know. Certainly from what I've seen of No Man's Sky, it looks amazing, but even Sean Murray himself said that when he does these tech demos, they have this algorithm running in the background that is constantly going to the planet seed and seeing if it looks good. And if he finds a planet seed that he likes and he thinks that would show off the game well, that's what he shows. So certainly once you get into the game, you'll start on an awesome planet, enough to get you off the surface, let's say, but then you may come across several star systems with nothing in it, just asteroids or rocks or, traders moving from place to place, and you can unleash your inner pirate and shoot them and rob them and steal their cargo for profit and pleasure and draw the ire of the local police force. But, that's up to the player. Is it worth the $59.99 price tag? For those of you who are explorers that want to, let's say, load up a game and just see sights that are really cool, to interact with the indigenous wildlife, to see if you can survive. The survival people, I think, would really get a kick out of it. They would really appreciate the game for what it has. First-person shooter fans, I don't know. I mean, you might be able to go onto a planet and just start blasting the indigenous wildlife and, of course, get your wanted level up GTA style and have those sentinels come after you, shooting you, these giant metallic walker type things. But as far as the alien life, they did show off an alien creature that you meet, and a cool gameplay mechanic is sort of finding their Rosetta Stones, so you can sort of decipher their language and communicate with them better. Who knows, you might be able to unlock more things for your ship that you wouldn't otherwise have on your tech tree. Who knows? It could be one of those games that you might hold off a minute and wait to see if the gameplay is something that appeals to you. Something that appeals to me as someone who is on YouTube and someone who loves those types of games is everyone's Let's Play. Even if everyone on YouTube did a Let's Play, it is not going to look the same. It's not going to be, oh, I've seen that. Oh, I know exactly where you're at, or, oh, I know what's coming up. It's going to be fresh for everybody. I mean, the chances of people running into the same planets that other people have found in the early weeks, certainly probably the first early years, are very small. Then if people keep playing the game, they might run into previously discovered space. But it'll be exciting to watch people play on YouTube because they will literally see something that I, as a player, even though I can put in 1,000 hours in No Man's Sky, I will never see. In fact, Sean Murray even said he's sort of sad because most of his game people will never see. It makes me wonder, is it going to be on a server? The way people start out, they all start on their separate planets on the edge of the galaxy, and they all move inward. And he has almost a Sporepedia in mind where people upload their discoveries, and then you can get online and see what people have seen. But once their servers shut down, let's say, 5-10 years down the road, they see no one's playing No Man's Sky anymore, and they shut that down, Will that stop people from playing, or will that stop people from uploading, or will that stop the seed generation? That's a question I do not know. Personally, for me, I'll definitely get it. I'll definitely play it because I'm more of the exploratory type person. I could spend several hours in Space Engine just going from planet to planet and landing on it and taking a look at its sunset, its sunrise, if it's around like a gas giant or a binary star, just seeing these cool sights. And with it being VR compatible, and I spoke at length about my excitement for virtual reality gaming, I think that will add another level to No Man's Sky for sure. Being able to see the planets in its scale. And shoot, there may even be people who play the game that never even leave their starting planet. They just want to, oh, this is a pretty cool place. Let me see what there is to see. And you could do a Kurt J. Mack. You could far lands or bust and just, okay, I'm heading west, and do a lap around the entire planet. And that could take, years and years to walk. If you walked every day for, a half hour, 45 minutes, that would take you several years to just circumnavigate your planet. And who knows what kind of sights you'll see. Obviously, it's faster to hop in your ship and circumnavigate it that way in the atmosphere, or pop out of the atmosphere, fly over and see if there's like a cool canyon or a cool mountain range or something that you can see from space, and then land on that. To each their own. I'm excited about the flexibility of play. It's certainly not an experience where you are forced to play one certain way. You have to go get this objective right here, right now. It's not narrative based, so there is no story to get to. And if that scares you as a gamer, if you don't like the fact that you have complete freedom, No Man's Sky is not going to be a game for you. Just, give that a pass. But if you're the type to make your own stories, or you want to see things, you want to mine and build, you want to interact with alien indigenous life and try to learn their culture and learn their ways, then it might be good for you. $60 is, a AAA price range. However, you expect, high fidelity graphics, high fidelity content, high fidelity voice acting. You expect a lot out of a $60 game. But whereas in games like Fallout 4, you have quality over quantity. Shoot, I don't remember off the top of my head what the walkable map area of Boston is. But certainly, it's only a very small microcosm of what the Fallout planet Earth would look like. But to have 18 quintillion stars with even more planets than that orbiting them, and having planet-sized planets to walk around, can you argue with the $60 price tag? Well, if there's not enough to hold you in, then you certainly could. You'll have to be inventive if you play No Man's Sky. You have to be driven. And sort of, you have to be a creature of habit. You have to be comfortable with doing the same things over and over and over again, I feel, because it's going to be a lot of mining, trading, then back to mining and trading, flybit, mine, trade. You get in this sort of routine. Some people, like myself, that's a pretty valid game. Just what's the next adventure? What's over the next hill? That's the type of game that excites me. For more focused players that want their experience, I want to shoot people. I want to make my way to this town. I want to save this town. I want to be touted as the hero. I want to raise my flag and say I've beat the game. Then No Man's Sky will not be the game for you. Personally, I am very excited about No Man's Sky. Once it gets closer to release, and it will be releasing in June, from what I hear. So a month and a half away or so, 5-6 weeks from now, I'll be playing No Man's Sky. Probably as well as Stellaris. I did purchase that game, and right now Green Man Gaming has a 25% off code. If you get Stellaris and you type in the discount code WATCH25 in all capitals, and the number 25, you get 25% off. So I got it for $30 instead of $40, which is a pretty good deal. I was going to get it anyway. It's always good to get a little extra. So, for me, this has been Saka Speaks On. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Next week, I don't know what I will be discussing. Maybe something cool will be released or announced. PAX East is wrapping up. So once I get my PAX East coverage under my belt, there may be something cool that I can talk about next week. Or, I might talk about Arma. There's some things about Arma that I'm excited for, and I don't plan these things out. It's what I want to talk about tonight, and No Man's Sky is what I wanted to talk to you tonight about, and why I personally am excited for it. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold, and I will see you next week on the next Saka Speaks On video. Take care.